Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Donna Villa coming to you from Chicago, USA. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has indicated that his country is willing to negotiate adopting a neutral status as part of a peace agreement with Russia, provided it is guaranteed by third-party intervention and put to a referendum. The president said, quote, "We are ready to go for it. This is the most important point," end quote. While speaking to Russian media on Sunday, Zelensky made it clear that a peace treaty with Russia would not be possible unless there is a ceasefire and troops are withdrawn from the country. President Zelensky also said that territory held by Russian troops would not be recaptured, as it could lead to World War III. Instead, he said he wished to strike a deal over the Donbas region in the southeastern part of the country that has been under Russian control since 2014. Meanwhile, the head of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, Major Archbishop Sviatoslav Shevchuk, said in a video message on Monday, March 28th, that political and religious leaders should make it clear which side they are on the conflict. The top prelate said that everyone who respects the sanctity of life must stand by Ukraine. Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew I of Constantinople, the head of the Greek Orthodox Church, has expressed solidarity with war-afflicted Ukrainians. During his three-day visit to the Polish capital, Warsaw, his beatitude assured closeness to Ukrainians who are forced to flee their country and hailed Poland for its, quote, generosity, mercy, and hospitality, end quote, since the beginning of the Russian invasion. The Ecumenical Patriarch further stated, quote, "I am here to show solidarity and join in prayer with millions of refugees who have been displaced by this unjustifiable aggression and violence unleashed by Russia against sovereign Ukraine," end quote. The Patriarch, who visited Poland at the invitation of President Andrzej Duda and Metropolitan Sava of Warsaw, further added that his visit allowed him to, quote, meet and encourage all those who manifest the essence of Christianity, which is to love neighbors and see Christ in each one of them, end quote. He also shared his anticipation that Poland will be an example for the international community in welcoming refugees and aiding them with all they have. Marking a significant phase in the reconciliation between the Church and the Indigenous Peoples in Canada, delegations of the Native communities were received by Pope Francis in an audience at the Vatican on Monday, March 28th. Representatives of the Métis Nation and Inuit Tapirit Kanatami were hosted by the Pontiff. They came to Rome to discuss the involvement of the church-run institutions in the former residential schools, where abuses were carried out by some members of the community, leaving lasting scars on the indigenous people. While addressing the media the same day, members of the delegations appreciated the Pope's warm welcome and his attentive listening to their concerns and aspirations. The delegates said they expected the Church to join hands with them in helping survivors of the residential schools in the healing process and bring the perpetrators, if they are alive, to justice. The head of the Polish Episcopate, Archbishop Stanisław Godecki, had a private audience with the Holy Father on Monday, March 28th, during which he appraised the pontiff about the functioning of the Church in his country as the conflict in neighboring Ukraine rages. During the 45-minute meeting, the Archbishop thanked His Holiness for dedicating both Ukraine and Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. He also explained the activities undertaken by the Polish Church since the outbreak of war, which include the aid work among the Ukrainian refugees who have been welcomed by Poland. The top prelate said that the Church in Poland is providing help through Caritas Polska and the diocesan offices of Caritas, as well as through the aid to the Church in the East. Meanwhile, Polish President Andrzej Duda will visit the Holy Father at the Vatican on Friday, April 1st, which has been confirmed by the Chancellery of the President. Ahead of the upcoming public elections on May 9th, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines has appealed to the citizens to cast their votes for those who protect their freedom and assure the common good. In a pastoral letter read in all the churches on Sunday, March 27, the Catholic bishop stated, quote, "All citizens, therefore, should be mindful of the right and also the duty to use their free vote to further the common good," end quote. The bishops reiterated the need to choose candidates who will enhance people's lives, especially the poor and the vulnerable. Meanwhile, a Catholic organization named the Laab Foundation, in association with Caritas Philippines, has initiated a 40-day prayer campaign for socio-political renewal. The organization has urged all the faithful to participate in the 40 Days of Prayer and Awareness campaign from March 30th through May 9th. An Australian Catholic priest and two others have been chosen for the 2022 Bravery Medal for saving a surfer from a shark attack in 2020. On March 23rd, David Hurley, Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, announced that Perth-based Father Liam Ryan, Alex Oliver, and Jess Woolhouse would be honored with the Bravery Medal. The priest is one among 15 people to be given bravery medals by the Governor-General for being selfless and putting themselves at risk to protect the lives or property of others. On July 31, 2020, at Bunker Bay in Western Australia, Father Ryan displayed extraordinary courage in rescuing 28-year-old Phil Mummert from the jaws of a great white shark. Father Ryan is a chaplain at Western Australia's St. John of God Midland Public Hospital. The priest expressed his gratitude and stated that he was honored to receive the award. According to Catholic Leader, the official newspaper of Brisbane Archdiocese, Father Ryan completed his studies at Perth's Redemptoris Mater Missionary Seminary, and he's currently serving as assistant vicar at St. Bridget's Church in Midland, Perth. Here in the U.S., Governor Ron DeSantis of the state of Florida on Monday signed an education bill into law which restricts gender and sexual orientation instruction for young children. As per the Parental Rights in Education bill, public school teachers are banned from teaching sexual orientation or gender identity from kindergarten through third grade. The bill says, quote, "Classroom instruction by school personnel, third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards," end quote. Under the law, which will come into effect on July 1st, parents can sue schools or teachers for violations. After signing the legislation, Governor DeSantis tweeted, quote, "In Florida, we affirm the fundamental rule that parents have in education, health, and development of their children." As the new Constitution of Chile is being drafted, delegates of pro-life outfits have handed over a letter to the Constitutional Convention demanding that the charter should have provisions to defend the lives of the most vulnerable, including unborn babies. The letter was given to the Constitutional Convention, which is drafting the Constitution, on Monday, March 28th, and it was done in the backdrop of the Day of the Unborn Child, in that is celebrated in the country on March 25th annually. Almost 300 pro-lifers were summoned by the Siempre por la Vida, Always for Life organization outside the building where the convention, consisting of 154 members, are drafting the new charter. On March 15, the convention had approved sexual and reproductive rights, including abortion. Siempre por la Vida President Bernardita Silva said that they reject the constitutional proposal, adding that it is a threat. Silva said that a nation that defends the right to kill the unborn is a country without a future. Meanwhile, in southern Italy, residents of the town of Bari are rejoicing as the police have recovered the sacred ornaments and artifacts stolen from the statue of Saint Nicholas in the basilica housing the saint's relics. 5 days after the theft of a gem-studded golden ring, silver gospel book, and its 3 golden orbs and silver cross on the night of March 21st, the ornaments and artifacts were found from a villa in the countryside of Apulia, and a Tunisian suspect has been arrested. A medallion containing a vial of the holy manna, or the water that forms around the sacred relics of the saint, was also recovered by the police. Italian media reports say that the footage of the surveillance videos, fingerprints on the gate near the bell tower, helped the investigators trace the culprit. The relics of the saint, who is highly venerated by both Catholic and Orthodox believers, was brought to Bari in the 11th century from its resting place in Myra, in what is today Turkey, to prevent it from falling into the hands of Arab invaders. Finally, the legal hurdle that has stalled the construction of a Marian statue, the tallest in the country, has been removed. The State Court of Appeals of Sao Paulo has repealed a 2019 ruling that had stalled the building of a gigantic steel statue of Our Lady of Aparecida, the patroness of Brazil. The city also houses the shrine of the Aparecida Virgin that receives millions of pilgrims. It was artist Gilmar Pena who offered to construct the statue for the municipality in fulfillment of a vow to Our Lady made 4 decades ago after receiving graces. But the work of the 164-foot-high statue, which is taller than the Christ the Redeemer statue of Rio de Janeiro, was stalled when the Brazilian Atheist and Agnostics Association, or ATEA, filed a lawsuit claiming that public funds were used to construct religious symbols, something which is forbidden by the Constitution. According to Pena, $840,000 is needed to complete the work. It was in the 18th century that the miraculous statue of Our Lady of Aparecida was discovered by fishermen, and it was enshrined in a small chapel, which later gave way to a basilica. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.